Bunny, 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 you're so funny, and you can make 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or more. Hey there, and welcome to the Totally Fierce Crochet channel. Welcome to spring. I mean, doesn't this look absolutely beautiful? It's super warm today, so I thought I would take out my new little bunnies to show them to you and to tell you that this tutorial is all about how to make these super fun and super cute Easter bunnies from a square. Now, the idea of the bunny from a square isn't new. I saw it a few weeks ago and thought like this was the perfect little item to make for my channel, especially because you can use all kinds of techniques. You can crochet the square, you can Tunisian crochet the square, you can nook, and of course you can knit yourself a square and then create these super fun and super easy Easter bunnies. And of course you don't only have to use them for Easter, you can have them for all year because they're super cute, especially with the little tails. So are you ready to hop around a little bit to make these super fun Easter bunnies from a square? So let's go. So here's what you need to make yourself one of those super cute bunnies. First up, the yarn. You need 3 colors of yarn. You need the main yarn color. For this tutorial, I'm going to choose this bluish. Some say it's blue, some say it's purple, or something in between. Then some black yarn for the nose, and if you want to, you can also make the eyes with the black yarn. And then some white yarn for the pom-pom. You can basically use every yarn that you like. You can also use cotton. This is all acrylic yarn. It's DK quality, but in the end, it's really up to you what kind of yarn you want to use. As a hook, I'm going to use a 4mm hook. Pretty sure you can't read it. Maybe you can, but it's a 4mm. Then you need the yarn needle to sew in those ends. And since I get a lot of questions about those yarn needles with that little loop in the back to hold the yarn, I got myself recently these ones here from KnitPro. They are called wool needles. It's a pack of 3, so you get like different sizes and different colors. So just in case you want to get yourself some, here you go. Then of course some scissors, some filling to fill up that bunny. You can, usually I order it from Amazon. Then you would need something like a pom-pom maker. I got myself this one here in France, but you can use basically every pom-pom maker that there is out there. If you don't have a pom-pom maker like this, you can always use the inside cardboard roll from toilet paper or like from kitchen towels or something like this. This always works pretty nicely. And then you can wrap the yarn around, cut it on the left and the right, then make a knot to secure it, and then cut it to have yourself a pom-pom. And then, of course, for the eyes, some amigurumi eyes. Those ones here I also got from Amazon. They are even with different colors, but really feel free to choose amigurumi eyes as you wish or as you can find them, or just use the black yarn to make some bunny eyes. And with that, we are good to go. So the pattern I'm using for this tutorial is a 1-row repeat, so you don't have to memorize much. And of course, I'm going to start with an I-cord. If you want to do it with a chain, go ahead, chain 30 and then chain an additional stitch 31, and then continue with the pattern in the second stitch from your hook. But as always, I encourage everyone to start with an I-cord because it's fun and easy. And for that, I'm going to leave a little bit of yarn aside and then start with a slip knot, put it on my hook, and then I take my yarn end and wrap it around from the front, and then I take the yarn that goes to my yarn ball, which is right here, and wrap it around from the back, and then I take this last loop through the 2 loops on my hook, and like that I made my first I-cord element. And for this tutorial we need a beginning I-cord of 30 stitches. So again, you take the yarn that's your end yarn from the front, and then you take the yarn that goes to your yarn ball from the back, and like that we make our 30 I-cord stitches. Here we go. The I-cord of 30 stitches is done. You can ignore the end yarn. We are going to need this at the very end to sew in the bottom of our bunny. And now we can simply turn, because we can work directly into our stitches. And the first stitch of each round is very simple. We go right into our first stitch under both of the loops, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops, and make a single crochet. And for all the following stitches it's the same. We go back into our same stitch where we were, yarn over, pull the yarn through, then we go directly into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops now on the hook, we yarn over and pull through all 3 of the loops. So it's basically a 2 single crochets together, and like this we continue right until the end. So again, we go into the same stitch where we were, grab the yarn, pull it through, then go to the next stitch, yarn over, pull it through, 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and this way we continue all the way. And I will show you how to turn once I'm at the end, and this is then how we continue right until the end. So super easy, super simple. And let's just finish the first round of the pattern. And here we go. Round number 1, or row number 1 is done. And to turn, we chain 1, then turn. And now we simply do the same thing like we did it before, just going back. So we go into the first stitch that we have and start with a regular single crochet, and then we go back into the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, go to the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, 3 loops again, yarn over and pull through all 3, and like this we continue. So we go in the same stitch, then in the next, and pull it through all 3 loops to create our pattern. And this is basically what we repeat until we have 32 rounds in the end, or 32 rows. In the end, we will get, like, of those bumps here, we get 16 of those bumps, and usually I just count them so I don't have to worry about which row I'm in. But to be honest, it doesn't matter, as long as you have a square in the end, or a square form, you're all good. And it doesn't matter if you then have just 15 or 16, or that's absolutely fine. And I'll meet you once I have made all of my 32 rows or 16 rounds to show you how to continue with the bunny. So this is how it looks after round 16 or row 32, and as you can see, it's pretty much a square. You can always test it by putting the 2 sides together, and if then the corners match up, then you know that you have a square. And there's just one thing I want to mention for the pattern. It's a little bit sheer, so you can see a little bit through. So if you don't like later on that when you have the bunny that you see like those little bits and pieces from the inside up close, you definitely see them. You can of course always change up the pattern. I'm currently working on something that looks a bit like this, so it's definitely more closed. You won't see any parts of the white filling shining through. And if you want to make the bunny with a pattern like this, I will not show it how to do it because it's quite simple. It's one row with half double crochets, and then you go back with a row of single crochets, and then you simply repeat this all along until you have the size of a square. But this is of course up to you. I personally don't mind that the white filling is peeking through here and here or there, because I absolutely love the structure of this. And let's see how the blue one will turn out. We can now finish it off, and this is very easy. So here was our last stitch, yarn over, and then we just cut the yarn and just pull it through. And what I will do is I will also grab my yarn needle and I will already sew in that yarn end, because this in the end will be like the top of one of the bunny ears. And so I'm just going to sew it in quickly on the side. It doesn't have to be like super accurate. And then I just go down a little bit, if the yarn lets me, and just a few stitches, and that shall do. And now I can cut it, so I don't have to worry about it in the end. And now I'm going to take a longer piece of my blue yarn and cut it off, because now we are going to prepare our bunny shape. And for that we just have to find out where the center of our square is. It's around here, and I will just go in there and then simply go stitch by stitch, like from the front to the back and back again, all the way through. And that's also why I kind of like this crochet pattern, because I basically get like a grid to see where I am, and I get easy to work in stitches. And once we have that, we are now going up to the center and then down again to where we started. And again, I personally think with this pattern this works pretty awesome. So I go in there and then I just follow along the little holes that I can see of my little grid. Where's the next? Here. And like that, I basically end up in the center. And from there, I just go down And as you can see, I almost ended up, maybe I just, because when you see that it's not matching, then I just go one stitch earlier and go directly down. Here we go. And now I have both of my yarn ends on the same side, which is absolutely perfect. So later on, in between this triangle, there will be the face of our little bunny. So here will be like the center. What I can do is I will just put that there so I know where the center is. Because now we are first going to make the nose. And for that, I take my black yarn. I hope you can see it. I start with a slip knot, and then I chain 2, 1 and 2, and now I make 2 half double crochets into that first stitch. It doesn't have to be super accurate, just 2 half double crochets. So you yarn over, go into that first chain stitch, pull the yarn through 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 of them, and then again yarn over, go into that first stitch, pull the yarn through, yarn over and pull through all 3, chain 1, and we can already cut the black yarn. This is all we need of it, and then just pull the yarn through, and like that we created our little nose. And now we take the yarn needle, put the bottom part of our nose in there, and now we are just counting 1, 2, 3, and in the third horizontal line that we see here, we are just going to pull our nose in, just like that. You can also like release the yarn needle, and now we take the other end of our nose, and we will basically go along here at the top. There are 2 little holes right here. We go into the first one and go through the middle right here to pull that up, and then we are just going to go through the middle of our nose and then to the corner, and from there directly into that second hole, and like that we added the nose. You can turn your work to the back or turn it over, because now we are just going to make a double knot. Don't pull it too tight, just so that it is closed, and I will make even 3, because then I can cut it off short. And just like that, our nose is in there. Now the next step would be to add the eyes. I mean, I do have blue eyes. If you don't have blue eyes, it's no issue. You can use basically any color that you like. And I'm going to place them 3 holes left and right from our nose. So when we have our nose here, then 1, 2, and in the third one I will place the eye, and here again 1, 2, and 3, and here we are in the third one. Now of course I have to fix them with the little stoppers, so I take them on the safety eye in the back and close it. And here as well. And like that, our little bunny face is already there. And now we can create the shape by pulling on the two yarn ends on the side, and by pulling we get like this little pouch here where the face is, just like this. And we can now start filling the head. So take a bit of your filling material and just put it in. You don't have to fill it up like too much. Just like a little ball of filling in there, and always pull on it to see if it's enough or if you want to add more. I think this is still a little bit too much. I'm just going to take out a little bit. It's more a feeling thing, but you definitely don't want to have it like super overstretched. And I think this now looks all right. It looks like a bunny already in the camera. And now what we do is we just tighten it up by making a double knot to close everything. Like that. If there's some filling here over the ears still coming out, just put it in. And of course we can always form the head a little bit, because this is still flexible. And we can also like curl the ears to give them a super nice and awesome ear shape. And I mean, if this doesn't look like a bunny, then I don't know what does. And now we can also start closing our side. So we still have our two yarn pieces. Usually I just let the shorter piece in the middle and then take the longer piece on my yarn needle, because now we are just going to sew it together in the most simple and easy way. First, make sure that you have like all the sides like matching to each other. And once you have that, you then just go from one side to the other side and just close it up, stitch by stitch. Again, of course, you can do this super accurately, but those who know me know that I'm definitely not a great sewer, so I will just make it easy for me and just close it as is. So now I will go to the inside and just hide my end yarn in some of the stitches in there. I just want to have it out of my way and can now take it in. And now I take my other end yarn, because the great thing about these bunnies is that you can hide all the end yarns on the inside. And now I will just go along the sides from outside to inside, just all along. And make sure to leave a little loop still up here. And once you have it, then just go through that loop and leave it for now, because we are now going to fill up the body part of our bunny. So we take in some of our filling. Again, it doesn't have to be like bursting. It has to be, it's okay to have like a normal amount of filling in there. And also make sure this longer piece that we had here to still have it in the middle. You can of course always press the filling in to see if you need some more. I think a little bit definitely won't hurt in my case. So something like this. I mean, of course you can make your bunny chunkier or thinner. That is up to you. And now we take the other yarn end that we had here from the end, and we just drag on it to close the bottom part, just like this. And we still let this piece of yarn still there, because with that we can then just like compress it a little bit together, and then we make a double knot in the bottom. You can still drag on it a little bit to like bring that bottom part in. And let's make a third one just to be 100% sure. And now we take the two end yarns on the yarn needle, and the only thing left is to hide it somewhere in there. Where's the needle? Here. So we just pull it through, and from there we can then just simply cut it. And of course, again, like press it a little bit, move the filling around where you want to have it. Of course, reshape the ears if you have destroyed them. But overall, the bunny is almost done. And now the only thing left is our little tail, or whatever it is called for a bunny. So I'm going to take my white yarn and my pom-pom maker, put the yarn over it, and now I think I always did 75 or 80 loops around the pom-pom maker, and this is a little ASMR moment now for you. So this was around 80. Then I just cut it. Then I take a little piece of the white yarn. And now I will just simply wrap that yarn piece around like that. And then I will just make a single knot. And then I release everything from there. And then I tighten the knot and make a second one to close it like that. And now it's time to cut the pom-pom open. I will spare you the minutes. You just cut through the loops, of course, to open it, and then use the scissors to shape it as round as you can do it. Just like with sewing, I'm not the most talented pom-pom maker, to be honest. I think they're fun, and it's fun cutting them, but I don't know. My talent is definitely not shaping pom-poms, and I'm pretty sure some of you can do so much better. But this is what I'm going to do now. I will shape it so that it looks less like Billy Idol in the 80s, and I'll be back with a hopefully perfectly shaped pom-pom. And here we go, my semi-pro pom-pom. And now the only thing left is to place it. And usually don't place it like right here. I know this looks now a little bit weird with my finger somewhere here, but place it a little bit upwards, somewhere here maybe. And to do this, I take my first end yarn and I will just like put it somewhere here, and I will just pull it through, and then I take the other end yarn and pull it through the same spot, because like that we can then just drag on both yarn ends and make a double knot. And we don't even have to like put the yarn in. We can then just cut it. And guess what? Your little bunny from a square is done. I think it looks super cute. Let's see how it looks with all his friends. He does have a few friends. This looks so funny. Maybe I shouldn't do an outro for this video. I will just take this as my outro. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you will have fun making these super cute and super fun Hobbii Easter bunnies from a square. You can do every square that you like with every technique that you want, with every stitch that you like. You just have to be sure that it's a square. And I hope to see you back again next time, only at the Totally Fierce Crochet channel. And until then, happy crocheting and happy Easter, everybody! They look so fun. Big Easter hugs. Bunny, 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 you're so funny. Now let's make 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or 5.